everybody. It's Chef Erin. Look at that.
I'm back at least with you. I've done
yes.
one flying solo, and I tell you what, I missed you.
Well, we missed you too. Yay, band is back together.
Yes.
Welcome to the Coffee Flower Lab here in Seattle, Washington. We want to say hello to everybody out there watching. We have a fun couple of recipes. Summer's coming up. You wouldn't know it by looking outside today here in Seattle, but summer is coming up, trust me, and that means ice cream. Not that ice cream is reserved for summer. We all know that ice cream is a year-round treat, but making it just seems to go with summer, so that's what we're going to do today. I am going to do a coffee flour ice cream recipe.
And I'm going to do a vegan coffee flour chocolate sorbet.
Yum.
Yes.
So I'm going to get started right away. I'm going to turn my burner on here. In a stainless pan, I'm going to take 3½ cups of cream. It seems like a lot of cream. I'm not going to lie, it is. It's ice cream.
It is. There's a separate recipe, maybe I should say this at the end, where if you want to use less cream, more milk, you increase your egg yolks. But
Okay.
another time, another story.
Not in this one. So a ½ cup of milk to that. So a little bit of milk, a lot of cream. A couple of my favorite things. 2 tablespoons of coffee flour. And this is the regular coffee flour, the one that looks like cocoa powder. We've talked about it many, many times. We will go over the whole process in just a minute. But just know that this is the regular coffee flour. I'm going to pour it right in. Put that back here. And approximately half of the sugar. This is brown sugar, and it is, where's my sugar on here? 1¼ cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to just kind of guesstimate and improvise with the tool here. About half of that. And that looks like half-ish. Everybody knows that sometimes you need to improvise in a kitchen. So I'm going to just whisk that together on this burner, and it's going to warm up. And I just want to get all of that coffee flour incorporated. It's going to sit on the top a little bit. It is a light product, weight-wise, so it's going to sit on the top. Just make sure you get it all whisked in.
Right. And once it starts to saturate, absorb the milk and the cream, it will become a little bit more incorporated and a smoother consistency.
So you can already see that it's turning this nice, light, kind of caramely color, which is good. Let's talk a little bit about what coffee flour is.
All right, this will take a minute to heat up.
Yeah.
So coffee flour is the fruit that surrounds the coffee bean. It looks kind of like a cranberry or a cherry. At origin, when they're harvesting coffee, many people follow the green bean because that, up until hopefully now, is where the money comes from. We have to sell coffee flour.
Yep.
Pay the farmer. I'm ad-libbing, so I apologize. But green bean goes one way, the fruit goes in another. We're going to take that fruit, we're going to stabilize the drying method, and then mill it into different grind sizes, regular and coarse right now. And with that, you can make a vast array of items. Ice cream and sorbet today, beverages, breads, baked goods.
I mean, you guys have seen us all do all kinds of things, everything from pastas to brownies, everything in between, beverage, sweet, savory.
Yes, and by utilizing the fruit, it not only increases your nutrition and your food items, but it also is cleaning up the environment, it's providing jobs and increasing income in those origin countries.
So this is warming up. I am going to add a pinch of salt to this. Most people go, why would you add salt to ice cream? You add salt to everything. It's a flavor enhancer. That's right. It was just a pinch. That's a technical term. A pinch. So this is warming up here. Okay, in this bowl I have 6 egg yolks. Chelsea mentioned briefly there is an alternative recipe that uses more egg yolks, less cream.
Yes.
Correct? Here I've opted for more cream, less egg yolks. So these are going in here.
I can take that.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And to that I am going to add the rest of the brown sugar. So we've now used the full 1¼ cups brown sugar. Mash these together, make a good paste here. I'm also going to add some vanilla in here. Is that right? That's the step now? Do you want me to wait?
Yeah, you can add it in here or you can add it at the end. It doesn't matter. It's
do it
all
now.
going into the same spot.
I'm going to do it now.
Okay, this is going to be quite thick. Let me walk around you and get a
Yeah.
ladle.
Okay. So we are just mixing the egg yolks, the remaining brown sugar, and that little bit of vanilla. And we are going to do a method called tempering. and that is where you add a warm liquid to a room temperature egg yolk mixture, but you want to do it slowly, because if you add a whole bunch of warm liquid to egg yolks, they're going to cook, and then you're going to end up with scrambled eggs. You don't want scrambled eggs in your ice cream, so what you want to do is take a small amount of the warm liquid, add it slowly, so you want to slowly bring up the temperature of your egg yolks, and then once you start to slowly bring that up, then you can incorporate both sides completely.
That's exactly right. I'm going to help out. Grab a kid or your partner. You could do it on your own, but again, use a separate spoon. You don't want to just pour it in, or your risk of scrambled eggs increases tenfold.
I have made ice cream a number of times and ended up with a scrambled egg element in there and had to start over.
Yes. You can strain it, but you don't have to. Don't add a step and a dirty dish.
That's right. So I can feel just on my hand that the egg yolks have come up to a warm temperature. They're not hot, they're not cooking, they're just warm. So now I can go ahead and add this into this pot of warm cream, milk, coffee flour, and that pinch of salt. So I'm going to add this in here, and this is going to thicken. The egg yolks and the cream are going to make a nice little partnership. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to keep this actually. All right. We're going to make a nice little partnership, and they're going to thicken up really nicely as it warms up. And this is the pretty standard base for ice cream. It's called a creme anglaise. And so you want this to thicken up really nicely, and you're going to end up with kind of a custardy texture. It happens to be the base for custards as well, so it makes sense that you would get a custardy texture.
Yep. What we're looking for is a term called nappe.
Nappe.
We're throwing all kinds of culinary lingo at you today.
Yes, so we've got nappe, as you just mentioned.
Liaison.
Liaison. We're very French today.
Tempering.
Tempering. So as this continues to warm up, it's going to get really thick, and the short side of a nappe, if you will, we're not quite there yet, and I'll show you why. When you have a rubber scraper or a wooden spoon, would be even better, and you pull it out and you have this liquid, you want to be able to drag your finger through it and have that line that your finger makes stay. So this is thickening up very nicely.
I'm going to mention that before you've done any of this, if you're using an at-home ice cream maker, make sure that the bowl that you're going to be putting your base in is being pulled from the freezer. It needs to be very cold, or else you'll have base and you're able to freeze it.
In fact, you can see mine. I just pulled it out of the deep freezer. It's got this nice coating of frost on it. That is cold. Trust me, I had to use a towel to bring it out of the freezer. Delicate hands.
Yes. So while this is coming up to temp, I'll just do a quick refresher where you can find coffee flour. You're able to order it online at nuts.com or marksfoods.com. You're also able to call Merlino Foods here in Seattle. At grocery stores, we're at Sprouts Markets in the bulk section. We were briefly at Trader Joe's for Coffee Month, but I've seen that product on Amazon if you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Or if you haven't seen it in your grocery store and you want to, request it. The more people who are requesting it, the more likely it will be that they will order it and keep it stocked on their shelves.
And if you did get it at Trader Joe's during its feature month and you want to go back and you're not seeing it, find the store manager. Say you had this great product. It was from Baker Joe's, which is their bakery line. Just say it's called coffee flour, and I really enjoyed it, and I put it into a lot of stuff that I made at home, and I'd like you to bring it back in again. You know them; they're accommodating. So this is thickening up really nicely. It's just got. I'm going to give it another minute, and while that minute is happening, let's talk about where you can find us on social media. You can find us, of course, on Facebook because that's where you are. You can find us on Instagram. Our handle is Coffee Flour Lab. You can also find us on Twitter and see how we are doing through our tweets.
Yes, and if you don't see a recipe that you're looking for, or if you have a brilliant idea that you haven't seen us make, that's a great place for you to request. And we could either do it here online, or we could post it, or we'll definitely reach out and get back to you if you leave us a note.
Yeah, we love seeing the creative side that happens outside of the lab by all of you guys. We've had some fantastic recipes submitted, pictures. We love pictures. We've had people that just kind of go outside the box and experiment on their own, and we're like, well, that's brilliant. Why didn't we do that? And then we'll do it. If you have a recipe that was maybe your mom's or your grandma's that you really like, it's a family favorite, but you want a new twist on it, throw it our way. We'll do your grandma or your mom proud. We'll try. Okay, so this is thickening. One thing that I do want to mention, just for the sake of time, is normally you would put this into the fridge to cool because it doesn't make sense to pour a hot liquid into a frozen bowl. Might as well start out with a cold liquid going into the frozen bowl, but we're going to pretend that this has been cooled off.
Yeah, it'll make ice cream a lot faster if it's been cooled down. And I'm also going to say that Erin never brought this up to a boil. That will also scramble your eggs. You're going to pull it before the liquid comes up to a boil.
And you did see that I was constantly stirring it. That's going to help distribute the heat more evenly, get you a better product, use your time more efficiently. I'm going to get just a towel. Can you give me that towel?
Yes, I
just so I can pour this a little easier. And an ice cream maker at home, that's one of those things that I thought, I'm going to buy it. I'll probably use it once. It'll go back underneath. Not going to lie, it does spend some time underneath the counter. But I actually do use it more than I thought that I would. So, and there is nothing better than homemade ice cream. I think that is just a widely known fact.
It's true. And you can add anything that you'd like to it,
Yeah.
which you aren't always able to find the right one at the grocery store.
Oh,
Just like that.
it's that easy, and it's going to freeze up.
Okay,
All
well
right,
that
I'm
is
gonna
turning.
start
I'm going into a vegan,
Thank
you, a vegan coffee flour and chocolate sorbet. So, in a
I
saucepan,
don't like this.
and this one's really easy to put together. I have 2¼ cups of water.
I'm going to turn this off just for the sake of noise.
We can pretend that it's turning.
Spinning.
So 2¼ cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cocoa. This is just regular cocoa powder, and 1/4 cup of coffee flour. So the original recipe called for 1/2 cup of cocoa. I was able to reduce the cocoa by half and substitute it with coffee flour. It brings out chocolate flavors. I mean, it's really delicious. You need to try it. And then I also have 3 ounces of chocolate. I'm using our wonderful partner, Seattle Chocolates, because they're incorporating coffee flour in their chocolate. But you can use chocolate chips. If you want to keep it vegan, make sure that you're not using a milk chocolate. That's the only thing that can bite you or make me a liar in this case. So 3 ounces of chocolate. I have a teaspoon of vanilla. Then I'm also going to put in a pinch of salt. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Thank you.
Get all my utensils out of the way. Oh, I forgot to put nutmeg in mine. Optional.
It is optional. So, this one, it's just fine if it comes up to a boil. It's actually what you want it to do. After it comes up to a boil, I'm going to be adding about 1 ounce of coffee flour infused vodka. This is going to be another show. Just put a plug out there, but infused liquors is
So just to be clear, this is not a coffee flour vodka that's available on the shelves. This is a vodka that we turned into a coffee flour vodka. So just let your mind noodle on the potential there.
Yes, and the reason why I'm adding a liquor into this base is it really helps the scoopability, but it could be left out. It just might give you an icier texture in the finished product. I'm also going to note that it doesn't have to be vodka. If you're not as concerned about it being vegan, use Kahlua or Irish cream or any other liqueur.
Nice. You know, like when you stick a bottle of vodka in the freezer, as you do, and it doesn't freeze, that's what Chelsea is speaking of when she talks about scoopability. It will keep your sorbet from getting frozen hard.
That's right.
Little trick there.
So really, all you have to do is wait for this to boil, and then if you're using your standard at-home ice cream maker, you'll cool down the base and then freeze it as directed on the package. Or if you don't have an ice cream maker at home, you can make this in a granita, which is, right over here. In a granita, you can just put it in a shallow container, pop it in the freezer, and then every hour or so you'll want to stir it up. So it doesn't make an ice cube, it makes small,
this
like a slushy.
regular, like a slushy.
Yes.
Absolutely. Speaking of, we've got some finished product here that we made yesterday. Some of you may have seen on Instagram.
I had a moment.
The results of our getting ready yesterday for our Facebook Live today, but we were able to recover, and so we were able to make ice cream and sorbet after our spill, which
was only half.
So this is the sorbet that Chelsea's making right now. You can see it's really rich, dark chocolatey color. It is delicious.
And the flavor is that of dark chocolate. I mean, it's so rich. The coffee flour brings out those chocolatey notes, and it is decadent.
Ooh,
you would never know that it was vegan just by tasting.
It's good.
Isn't that nice?
I'm going to get in on that. I'm going to do another scoop just because.
And this, once the chocolate is melted and the sugar is dissolved, it is ready to freeze.
So there's that. And then here is the ice cream. Again, you can see it's got this really rich color. It is lighter than Chelsea's because, again, it has the cream, which obviously is going to affect the color, make it lighter, thus ice cream versus sorbet.
I'm going to make this one into grenada, so just throw that directly into the freezer. Set my phone reminder to stir every hour. I see that we have a question.
Just looking for confirmation that the sorbet is in fact vegan. Somebody online, Scott online, can't believe that it's vegan.
It is vegan. As I said earlier, there are ways that you can make it not vegan, and that would be by using a milk chocolate or anything that has a soy lecithin in it, or if you're using a liqueur that has cream like Kahlua or Irish cream. Otherwise, totally vegan.
Scott, you saw all the ingredients that went in? Totally vegan.
This looks so good.
Those look really good. This looks like really rich brownie batter almost.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, when it's soft, this is where you can add some coffee flour brownies or other inclusions.
Oh yeah, you could add coffee flour brownies. You could do, I don't know, maybe the coffee flour chocolate chip cookie dough in there. You could melt down the coffee flour chocolates, pour them over. I mean,
Or use a simple chocolate syrup, mix some coffee flour in to thicken it, and have a swirl.
that is nice. I was going to do these fancy sundae cups, but I kind of like this look here.
That's it.
Here's a spoon for you. I'm going to
Thank
grab
you.
a spoon for me. I'm not going to be shy.
Not when it comes to ice cream.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Happy kickoff to the beginning of summer. I think the official, I mean, not the official solstice, but the official kickoff happened a couple weeks ago with the holiday weekend. So I can comfortably say welcome to summer.
Welcome to summer, even in 50-degree Seattle.
Even 50-degree Seattle.
It's coming.
We will see you in 2 weeks. Don't know what we're going to make. If you want to see us make something specific, you know what to do. Drop us a line and we'll make it. And until then, cheers.
Cheers. It's good to be back.
Welcome.
Yes. Bye.